DEHH Hip Hop album review. Vince Staples, Ramona Park broke my heart. Look, this is not the first time we reviewed Vince Staples. All you need to know is he's from the West Side. Before we get into the review, just want to say shout out to everybody that's copping the merch, man. Continue to cop the merch. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for supporting DEHH Hip Hop. Become a Patreon. Also, our Friday, I think this will be out before Friday. Doing the first time, you know what I'm saying? Something special. It's gonna be Lil Wayne versus Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wanted that reaction. I see you. I play point guard.
That peripheral, that motherfucker. I'm curious how what's the rules to that? But go,
Vince Staples, Ramona Park broke my heart. I feel like Vince Staples is like on autopilot in a good way. Meaning like he understands how to craft a project and give it life. You know what I'm saying? Like where he's telling a story throughout the entire album, because it's not the first time he's done something like this. And I just feel like it comes so easy to him. It's weird because it's like you listen to this and it's like he puts you there, but it's like he doesn't necessarily drill into you, but he creates this sonic world that gives you all of these glimpses as to why Ramona Park was so amazing and it made him who he is, but it's so much fucked up in this that happens and that also makes him who he is. That's not an easy thing, but I feel like it comes easy to him. And then it's crazy because like sometimes when you remove some of these songs and if you just like listen to it by itself, you wouldn't get that feeling. But in the project, it feels like, damn, this is like a complete body of work. Everything goes together. I was blown away by that, like how just easy it felt that he just knocked the whole concept out of the park with this.
I feel like this album came out of nowhere for me. Did you?
Yeah.
You know it was coming?
Yeah. Nah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I told y'all that it was when we was doing our I think it was anticipation. I brought it up, man. Yeah.
Okay.
I brought it up.
Okay, I probably just forgot.
Nah, I was thinking the same thing, man. I don't know why I don't expect his albums to be like this when he's given this to us so many times at this point. For some reason, I always expect for it to be different, some type of just super gangster rap West Coast thing. But he always has a way, like you said, is creating this world. And I'm always surprised when he does it. And I think it's just extremely dope, man.
100%. Like listening to this, I'm just like, when did it switch for him? Like when did this just become a thing where it feels so effortless? It threw me off. I didn't expect it. Was the East Point Prayer with Lil Baby.
When I saw Lil Baby on here, I was like, I gotta hear that track, bro.
I didn't look at the track list and I didn't know Lil Baby was on it.
Yeah, I saw. I was like, what does that shit sound like?
So did
people
you skip to
fuck with. No, I didn't. I listened to it through in the context of the album because people fuck with Lil Baby heavy, bro. And I just haven't got on board yet. And I'm not on. I don't get it, but I'm like, dang, Lil Baby on Vince Staples.
Lil Baby correct, man.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
Lil Baby correct.
So how'd you feel about Lil Baby on this one?
I still don't get it.
Damn. This isn't the best I've heard him at all. But I think in general, when I know this isn't about Lil Baby, I think Lil Baby can like rap.
I think it was just dope that Vince decided to work with somebody different. But nah, I just got to go through Lil Baby shit. Honestly, but
I think you probably just don't like that singy rap thing he does. Possibly, is that it?
Or maybe the auto tone.
That's what I mean, like that thing that he does. Yeah,
I agree with you, Rod. I don't think it's Baby's best verse. I did like it just in the context of what Vince was talking about. Him knowing Camelton Road and all of that. Like I'm like, okay, yeah, he was here. And I thought it was so interesting how like he said it, where he's like, I was in the ATL without a plan C. Atlanta was plan B for him, you know what I'm saying? So just again, like those little things that Vince gives you to make it feel so like there.
And then you put Lil Baby on it.
And like, you put Lil Baby
it's very intentional.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So
has he said before that he used to live here?
I never heard that before. So
when I saw that song, I was like, oh, that's funny. Ha, East Point, he's talking about my neighborhood. That's funny.
But I didn't really think he was actually talking about my neighborhood until he started talking about streets. Like Campbellton Road is literally
right there.
a mile down the street from my house. Never
I
heard
watch
that
a lot of his
before.
interviews, and he's never mentioned that before. So
Carrollton Road, Vince.
put it up, throw it up.
Stanton, boy. Actually, no, I'm not sponsored to do this. Hey, check that out. Conley Drive, boy.
Right.
Stanton Road, Vince. That's how we do, boy.
Kind of off topic, but on topic. There's a lot of West Coast rappers that has spent time in Atlanta.
Atlanta's just one of those, because it's like a black mecca almost. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people come here.
I just think overall, like, I don't think it's gonna be appreciated. I like it, and I want to give Vince props, you know, but I don't think people are gonna appreciate it. I think this one might be one of those that people appreciate like later on. I don't know. I just get that feeling. I don't really have a reason why.
Putting that shit out in the universe.
Just feel
man.
like that.
Yeah.
I just feel
I
this
don't
one.
know.
Talking that into existence. Some motherfuckers don't like his album, man.
Right.
I don't think I like the title. Ramona Park broke my heart. That's really, you know what I'm saying. When I saw that title, I was like, oh, that's interesting as hell. I love Vince Staples, man. He has a really unique way of talking about gangster shit, and I think I've said that before, man. Because like you won't even realize he's talking about gangster shit unless you really listen to what he's saying, the words, and like I said, I'm sure I've said that before. The shit that took the cake for me on this album was When Sparks Fly. I'm sure y'all caught it, but man, that shit was dope as hell because I didn't catch it the first time. And everything ties when sparks fly. Like he's talking about the gun, obviously, and when sparks fly in the relationship. Damn, and he used that whole concept through the whole fucking song. This motherfucker is creative as hell. And I know other people's done it, but not like this. Not like this.
Not like this.
Not like this.
From the protection with you to the use a gun if you ever get loose. Like
we'll go 100 rounds in the bedroom.
Yeah.
What?
No, man, this is different.
What?
Yeah.
And then he fucks you up, and he does it on purpose because even at the end of that, he has a chick talking at the end, like about the person being locked up. So if you don't listen carefully, you might think that this was the chick he was talking about in the song, but no, he was talking about from the gun's perspective. And I don't know why I never expect him to create music like that. But I listened to the prima donnas and all that, and seen the videos and how creative he is. And for some reason, I always forget until I listen to the album. I love this dude, man. And it was like the Road Street. I don't know if y'all heard that single. I think that was the single off the album.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. Yeah, I didn't
Road
hear
Street was dope. The blues was dope. Like,
Blues is dope.
And blues goes right back into the first track too. It has a beat that goes right back into the beat.
I thought it was the water. The water and stuff.
God, it's like seamless. Magic with Mustard. And I thought that was dope too.
Was hard too.
And you heard the sample of
how we do,
you know how we do
Ice Cube.
That little piece, just sounds so good.
It's so West Coast, man. It's so West Coast.
Yes, DJ Quick.
It don't make dollars and don't make sense.
Don't make sense.
Yes. I kind of drew a parallel. I was like, you know what? He kind of sounds like DJ Quick. I never really put that together until I saw that track title.
What you mean he sounds like DJ Quick?
I think he does. No. I think his cadence sounds like DJ Quick. Not the way he rhymes. When I heard DJ Quick, I heard the cadence. No?
We need to play some DJ Quick for you to remind you.
I don't know what DJ song you are.
I did.
Must have been a demo.
I did. Maybe it's just the West Coast sound.
Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit.
I thought, I was like, wait, what? I looked at the kid, and
no,
kid was like, what? And
y'all
then
don't hear
Feefo looked over at the beat, was like, what you mean?
Wait. So y'all don't hear no DJ Quick influence at all?
No.
Bro.
Y'all don't think it's no DJ Quick influence in him?
The only thing you can say is he just sounds like he's from the West Coast.
And so
does DJ Quick, but they don't sound alike at all.
They don't rap alike.
I said they don't rap alike.
But you said cadence.
But
you said cadence.
But no, that's voice and shit. Like that's like
no, cadence is also how you rap.
It's not
possible.
like,
I mean, I see how y'all can
it's
say
not
that, but
flow, but it's tied to flow.
It's like patterns and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
I guess maybe it is just the West Coast sounding or whatever. But it did make me think about it, and I did play DJ Quick afterwards, and I was like, I can see how they kind of sound alike, but that's just me. But no, man, overall, man, I thought once again, man, this dude has constructed a very, very, very solid album that you could just play, man. So I hope what Feefo said isn't true and people do appreciate the work that this guy puts into his albums because it's obviously like super creative. So Nah, man, I fuck with this, man, for real.
Yes, I do too. Especially coming off last year, his self-titled album. With that one, of course, it was definitely a lot darker than this one. Even though he was still talking about some heavy stuff on this album on some, lighter production, like for instance, like Lemonade and Magic. Like it's like you'd be like, okay, this is nice. But then if you really listen to Vince Staples, you're like, okay, he talking about some heavy shit. Like he always, I'm glad he's one of the still like young artists that still has no problem talking about heavy stuff in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I can always appreciate that, especially for someone like a young artist like Vince Staples, man. And I remember I was still the one that didn't like Summertime on 6, but since like Prima Donna, and after that, I've been like, a fan of Vince Staples because I always love his interviews and what he has to say.
You don't like Summertime 06? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Me either.
I was the only one.
You didn't either?
But Ken came around though. I think Ken ended up coming around.
You like North though, right?
Yeah,
That shit
Yeah.
hard. Oh,
Yeah.
North is so hard.
yeah, North is hard as hell. But yeah, no, I think this album, man, like it's amazing. Like listening to the type of production that he goes over on this one to still kind of talk about heavy stuff. Because I didn't know this album was coming out until like maybe a day or two later, like before the official release. And when I saw the album cover, I was just like, oh shit. I'm thinking it was gonna be like part 2 of his self-titled album, like it was gonna be something heavy or whatever. Listening to it, I was like, oh, okay, this is but then that was like the first listen. The second time I was like, okay, he really talking about some shit. Cause when Sparks Fly, I didn't catch that till like the second or third listen. I was like, holy shit. I said, yeah. So it was just all that shit was just connecting. Every time I would listen to this album, I'm like, yo, this man is really talking about some heavy shit that goes on in the black community. And that's why I appreciate that. I appreciate him talking about heavy stuff like that, and the consequence side of being in the hood too as well. I can always appreciate that from artists as well. But yeah, no, this shit was great, man. Like
if I had one
wish,
I'll be the homies.
Yeah, man. Like, and no matter what, man, Vince Staples gonna always keep it West Coast. Like you're gonna know he's a West Coast dude, and I can appreciate that, man. I really can. But I really have nothing really bad to say about this album. Really, I think everything flowed well. I think, like you said, the Nameless, how all the interludes and stuff was going right and telling the story into the next song. Like it was great, man. Like this thing ride like from the beginning to the end. So I really had no complaints really on this. I can't say I wish it was longer or shorter or anything. Like I think the runtime of this album was perfect.
Good sweet spot.
Yep, it was a great. It was about like barely 40 minutes, if that. It was a great sweet spot. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I dig this album, man. I'm glad this one caught me off guard because I didn't hear the singles or nothing like you heard, because I guess it literally came out of nowhere for me. I was just like,
no,
shit,
I was anticipating it. So when I saw the single pop up, and I rarely listen to singles, but it just popped up one day, and I just said, I'm gonna play this.
Another one, Mama's Boy. I definitely like how kind of tied that in with like the street and gang life, and even like they love that shit just like they love their mama.
Love that shit like I love my mama.
Love my mama. Yeah, that's what's so great about Vince, man. He can tie those parallels in and make it and connect so well. So, but yeah, I fucks with this album.
I don't know how I missed it, but I didn't know that this kind of ran from one to another. From the blues to the beach. I actually went into this morning. I was driving in and I was like, oh, did this shit start over? And then I was like, oh shit, I think I missed a whole bunch of shit. But I did not like this album.
Damn.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? In the process of listening to it, I was like, one thing about Vince is he never give you the same shit. Like every single album sounds different. And I just had to listen to it. I was like, okay, so this is definitely on some pure West Coast sounding shit. So I'm like, damn, is he just making some West Coast? I'm just do some West Coast shit. Is he in that kind of space? I'm like, what is happening here? What does Vince want me to get from this album? I just kept asking myself over and over again. I just kept listening to it over. Yeah, Mama's Boy, Bang That, Rose Street, The Blues, Money Made Me Numb. That's why I hate that I didn't notice that it cycled through before, because I could have listened to it with a completely different ear, which improved my listening experience here. Yeah. But man, the beach started. I was like, man, the way he rapping on the beach, that shit is so fucking dope. And then you hear the gunfire. I'm like, okay. Then A, Free the Homies, the way he done that hook and shit like that. I'm like, all right, fucking DJ Quit.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, man, what the fuck going on here? I started to come on, I was like, okay. Magic, Nameless, Sparks Fly. Man, when Sparks Fly came on, I was like, okay, I'll fuck with that beat. It's nice, mellow and shit like that. Man, B, I started fucking with it.
Okay.
I started fucking with it, B.
So when did you not like it? I'm lost.
Started fucking with it, B.
Okay.
He put
out the iPad.
Hey, I had to give him the iPad.
This man got dramatic as hell. This man started with his phone. Now he pulling out the damn iPad.
Hey, I was like, I'm with it now, man.
How long did it take you?
It took about 4 listens.
Damn.
My first listen is always typically sonically and
Cursory,
shit like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the second listen, I kind of, started to get a little bit more into it. From the beginning, I had to adjust to like this sound. I don't know what sound I expected, but it just threw me off.
I feel you to a certain extent. Kind of like what I was saying about sometimes I forget the type of albums that he actually makes or whatever. So I guess it's kind of similar. It just didn't take me as long as you.
Yeah.
But I feel you on that a little bit.
This shit is crazy. And now, like, there's this whole other thing that's going on here that I didn't even catch in terms of like how it flows into one. Like, it's supposed to be this one complete
crazy
narrative or story. Like, the one thing that I kept pulling from it over and over again was like this underlying theme of money. Money made me numb, and then if I had one wish, I had money in the world or whatever, I'll free the homies, DJ Quick, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, okay, there's something there with it. But yeah, man, I was like, yo, this shit is really fucking good. And yeah, man, I was like, damn, this is crazy. I like that it took me a second, to kind of
process it.
Yeah, to get what I'm, like what. Yeah. I had to sit and think about it, because you're right. Vince don't typically just give you shit that's typically straightforward. Yeah. For the most part. He's not doing this sound and taking this approach with this album for no reason. Right. There's something here that I just haven't picked up on yet. And I'm glad I came around, man. But yeah, when Sparks Fly, that fucking beat. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. And then just even the content, this shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you came around. Around. Man, I like how you started with the phone and
you like
brought the I like that. I like that.
You like Rob caught on to my shit.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta switch it up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute, he got the phone? I knew I saw the iPad somewhere at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I like this off jump, and I mean, I've kind of gotten used to what Vince Staples gives. The only thing, when you were saying that you kind of forget the kind of records he gives, I do too, but not in terms of sonic. I just always expect Vince Staples to just be goofy, because he's always so damn goofy.
That's what I mean.
Interviews. But you said straight gangsta shit. I'm saying I usually expect Vince Staples albums to actually be goofy. Every time I put on a new album, I just expect a bunch of jokes, even though he's never ever given us that. The second this one started, I was like, okay, the beach is very nice. It's almost smooth, and he just sounds so laid back and comfortable. DJ Quick, we already talked about. Unbelievable how good Magic was. And he just sounds so good on this. But when Sparks Fly, I definitely perked up, and I was like, wow, this is actually very interesting. Not that I'm some super smart detective or anything, because I'm not. But I mean, I picked it up from the first song. I mean, from the first time listening to it, because he said a couple things that really didn't make sense as far as being with a woman. Like when he's talking about hiding in the secret place and all that. The 100 rounds definitely gave it off to me. I was like, oh, he's talking about a gun. But I still, even the first time I listened to it, I wound that song back. Because I was like, I need to hear this again. Because I've heard a lot of people rap from the perspective of a gun, but this might be one of the better ones, because it's so ambiguous. I can completely see how someone would think it's just about a woman. But the way he did it was just fucking genius. Slide, paper cuts. Lemonade, when you were talking about how you couldn't tell how Vince Staples and Lil Baby's song would sound together. When I saw Ty Dolla $ign, I was like, how's that gonna work? It worked really fucking well. It worked really well, because the song was almost playful sounding, but again, if you don't pay attention to what this man's talking about, you will miss the fact that he's talking about the dangers of living in these bad neighborhoods. Yep. And I like that hook where he's saying, kind of cold as lemonade or whatever, which you could take as like, no, he's a cold motherfucker. He's cold like lemonade. Or you could talk about the idea that during the summer is when a lot more deaths happen in these areas, because that's when everybody's outside and they're just fucking shooting people. Yep. I mean, I don't know if that's the way he meant it, but that's how I took it. But either way, I really, really like that song. But
so that's what I was saying. I don't expect for him to go that deep, because he is silly when you see him in interviews and stuff like that. Maybe I didn't express that. That's why I never know what I'm gonna get on the album. I know I mentioned the gangster shit, but I was thinking that because I've seen him in interviews and he's like silly most of the time, and I just don't be expecting him to go that deep, like as far as like a Lemonade. So that's what I was saying, as far as like, I'll always forget until I play it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna get.
That he's not just a goofball. Yes. He's like a really talented writer.
No, for sure.
It's hard to say this is a fun album, even though it sounds kind of sort of fun.
I know what you're talking about.
Until you pay attention. But I really like that that's how he did this. He's just like, okay, I could talk about this quote unquote gangster shit, or I could talk about the the perils of living in these neighborhoods without having the music just sound like overbearing and dark and sad. It's just an interesting concept to me that I feel like only Vince Staples is really doing. But this is a fucking great album, man. I actually like this one more than the last one. And I really like the last one, but I think there's better writing that he's doing on this album. I really like the writing on here. And I think he picked beats that worked really, really, really well. And the second to last song, Rose Street, I don't know if anybody's talked about so far.
Yeah, I did. That's a single.
Oh, see, I didn't listen to any of the singles, but I really like that song. He said something like, "You lie to my face, so I hit it from the back," or something like that. And I was like, man, that's a line that's kind of silly, but also it's like, it's kind of not deep, but there's some deepness to that. Like, that's not just a surface level line. I just like that's how his brain works. He's clever.
The production on this versus the concept of this, right? Like Ramona Park, West Coast, the beach. From outside looking in, it looks like how it sounds until you're in it. And it's different.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
And I coming through with the philosophy.
Well, I caught that. That's why I kind of looked at Ken kind of off, like when he said it took him so many listens, because after my first listen, I didn't catch everything, obviously, because it's deeper. But I caught that gist, like he painted that picture for me where I'm like, this sounds light. And it's Ramona Park.
Oh, so you never been there?
No, I never been there. I never been there.
I've been to Ramona Park. I've been to Long Beach. And I didn't stay extended periods there, but I've been there. They're beautiful areas on the surface, but when you really get into it, there's some dark shit going on there.
100%. So growing up in Miami, like I grew up in Little Haiti.
So you get it. Yeah.
So I get it.
You get
beaches, this, that, and the third. Outside people, oh, you live in Miami.
Yeah, I live in Little Haiti. It's not all beaches and titties and shit. Some of it's like,
you know what I'm saying? Like there's South Beach and then there's the real Miami. Right. Like that picture that he painted from the music, just like the aesthetic, but how deep it was, like I got that instantly. And that's how I knew like I was fucked up. I'm like, whoa, okay, this is different. Like this is different for Vince. And that's why I also said I don't know if people are gonna appreciate it, because I don't know if they're gonna catch on to it. Like
I think they will. I hope they do. If they can break apart a fucking Kendrick Lamar album in 35 think pieces,
right?
Then I feel like they should be breaking this down the same way.
They should, but do you think that Vince gets that type of attention?
I think he does. I think he's extremely popular.
Okay,
we'll see. If not, it starts here.
You kind of hear what they just said, Rod. They just called me slow. Because I ain't picked it up until like the second or third listen.
We didn't call you slow.
That's what they just called yourself slow. Yeah, I picked it up on the first listen. It's okay. It's okay.
Yes, he did.
It was dope. I love that philosophy.
Yeah, he loves how you called him slow.
Right.
Because on the surface, it sounded real pretty. But when you dig in, it's deep.
Right. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah. Feefo Park broke his heart, bro.
With that concept, even when I think of like Chicago, the other place I grew up, it feels like that too. So I feel like anybody that has grown up in the inner city, you would understand this.
First things people say to me when I tell them I'm from Pensacola, oh, you grew up around beaches. Nah.
I grew up around shells, bro.
I ain't grew up around no beaches. I said we rarely went to the beach.
I don't know.
Ooh, Vince, you should have called me, bro. I could have gave you that one.
Which one?
Grew up around shells. It's like seashells. It's gun shells, bro.
Ooh, that double entendre, Vince. Boy. Double entendre.
Vince, Connolly Drive, dog. Come through.
He probably just said it somewhere.
He probably. I can't imagine I've made that up. I'm sure somebody has said that.
So favorite tracks for me, Magic, give me Nameless, give me When Sparks Fly, give me East Point Prayer, and give me The Blues and Mama's Boy.
Nameless is like an interlude though, ain't it?
Hey, look, let that man pick an interlude.
It is an interlude. That's why I said,
yeah, you slow it.
I tried to.
That's why I said Mama's Boy.
Slow.
That's why I said Mama's Boy. That's why I threw Mama's Boy.
Bumping the interlude.
Hey.
No.
Hey, that's the way he was talking.
But that's why I named both of them.
That's when the woman was talking, right?
I'm still heard about the DJ Quick
The woman was talking. Oh, shit. Oh.
Right, dumbass, thinking you sound like DJ Quick.
I called that motherfucker DJ Slow. DJ Not So Quick.
Favorite tracks for me, man. The Beach, definitely, man. That shit set it off for me. Hey, yeah, I like that shit too. With the Free the Homie shit, man. Magic with Mustard was dope. That's 3. Definitely give me When Sparks Flies 4. Give me the Blues. Fuck it. You know, I could have picked 5 more, but yeah, give me the Blues.
All right, so give me When Sparks Fly, DJ Quick, Free the Homies, Lemonade, and Mama's Boy.
Favorite tracks. Give me Free the Homies, DJ Quick, When Sparks Fly, The Blues, and Playaways, man. I like that. He said, I'm trying to fuck my pain away.
Damn.
Shit.
Damn.
All right, Vince.
Oh, shit. Give me Free the Homies. Give me DJ Quick. Not trying to go in order, but give me Magic as well. Give me When Sparks Fly. Give me Lemonade.
Vince Staples, if you watching, man, another amazing project, bro. Again, like I said at the beginning, like it just feels so effortless at this point for you. So I'm interested to see like how you continue to top yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because even though it sounds effortless, it can't be easy. Like it can't be that easy. High expectations, you know, every time you drop. It's just, how does he do better? And you continue to do that. So again, amazing project, bro.
And once again, man, dope project. I think I'm with Myke on, I think I do actually like this one better than the last one, but not saying that the last one was bad, because I fuck with that one too. I think you're just a very dope and creative artist. I don't know why I forget that from project to project until I actually play it. Like, oh yeah, that's right. He is this type of artist, and I think it's mainly what something Myke touched on about how you can be silly in interviews and stuff like that, but be this serious on an album. So it's just it's very interesting, and I like that. I like that about people in general, like how you can have goofy side, serious side, just a well-balanced person, and you definitely seen that way. So yeah, man, just thank you for another dope project, man. I'm gonna be playing this one. This shit is a total vibe. Thanks for creating another dope project for me to listen to, man, and much more success to you, man.
Yes, Vince Staples, if you're watching, thank you. It's interesting that people always kind of leave you out when you talk about that Kendrick, Tyler, A$AP Rocky era of MCs, and you're a part of that era as well. And I think that people need to really start mentioning your name as one of the most creative artists of that era, and you still continue making good albums now. Thanks for this album, man. Like I mentioned, man, people need to mention you for still being creative and coming out with these creative albums going on a decade plus later. So props to you.
Vince, if you're watching, I'm glad I came around on this one. I felt like I would have been really missing out if I would have kind of picked up on what was going on after the review. Similar fashion to Summertime 06. I eventually came around to that one. What I like about you as an artist, that you make dope quality sounding albums with very thought-provoking content. And I think that that's really dope and interesting. And I love that approach by you. So yeah, man, another great project, and keep up the great work.
Vince Staples, this is a great project. You picked some great production to work with, and I think your writing on here is exceptional. You've made things not overly complex, but a bit heady, but also still maintaining a level of catchiness to it. Even though this was a very heavy album, I still think that you had some playful ways with how you position certain phrases, and I think that that's really, really dope. I agree with B. I think you should be put up there with the rest of those MCs that came from that same era that are getting held to certain standards and certain, levels of fame, or not fame, but levels of respect that maybe people are kind of leaving you out of, and that's not fair, because you're definitely an incredible writer. So yeah, great project, man, and I definitely look forward to whatever you do next.